What's up, Wise Flyers? Welcome to another episode of Points on Points, where we talk about credit cards, travel points, and anything else travel related. My name is David, the host of the show, as well as the founder of Wise Flies. Today, we're joined by a very special guest, Brian, from his channel, Brian Jung. Brian, how are you today?
I'm doing well, David. Thanks for having me on the channel, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. So the way this show works is we're going to talk about the 5 topics that are on the screen right now. We're going to have a 2-minute timer for each topic. But before we get started, let's learn a little bit more about Brian. So Brian, how did you get started with points and credit cards? And tell us a little bit more about your channel as well.
Of course. So my name is Brian. I have a YouTube channel as well. I started this about 6 months ago. And actually, the way I got started with credit cards was just by me watching Shifu and Sebi videos when I first got started. During that time, I was actually running my own business in e-commerce. I was running a dropshipping store, and I was getting to a point where I was very interested in credit cards. I didn't know what to use to get the best value. And one of the first things I learned was like the Chase trifecta. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. This is where I can get some points. And, you know, I've always been about free stuff. I love getting discounts. I love getting free stuff. And when I heard about credit cards, traveling for free and like using points, I was all over it. So immediately while I was running my own business on the side, I dove really deep into credit cards. I went into the Reddit forums. I saw TPG, Doc of Credit, and then I started watching more YouTube videos. And then after that, I decided maybe I'll make an unboxing on this new gold card I got, and 6 months later, we're right here where we are now.
Awesome, man. Yeah, really inspiring story, because you blew up really fast in the scene. I think that's awesome.
Thanks.
So, Brian, one more question before we get started. What was your favorite award redemption that you've ever made?
Okay, so me personally, I really like hotel redemptions. I'm not too big of a flyer. I think I'm gonna start flying more, like maybe this coming year. But for me, I usually like like the hotels around my area. I'm around the DC area, so if I want to go to DC, I can. New York's only like 3 hours away from me. I could go to Atlantic City or even Ocean City or Delaware. So I'm in an area that doesn't require too much plane traveling. So I really like getting hotel redemptions, especially when you book a basic like economy room and then they upgrade you over to, you know, something insane, like maybe a suite, maybe a presidential suite. And I love getting benefits like that, because not only is it good for you, but unlike airplanes and air flights, you can actually get a hotel room and share this with friends and family, or maybe your girlfriend or your spouse or your kids, and they can see the power of credit card churning too. Unlike, you know, if you're on an airplane, then it's kind of just for yourself. You get first class. Most of the time you can't bring your waifu with you. So I really like hotels. Hotels is one of my favorite things to do, and it's just, I love it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think hotel award redemptions are underrated. Like you're saying, you know, you spend so many points and miles on a flight, and it only lasts like maybe 10 hours, 15 hours. But at least with the hotel, you have like, you know, could be 24 hours, or if you check in early, you know, so I think you get a lot more time and pleasure out of a hotel redemption compared to a flight redemption.
100%, yes.
Yeah, all right, man. So you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So first topic is going to be best starter card. And we're going to start the timer now. Brian, you're going to take this one first.
Okay, all right, best starter card. If you guys watch my videos a lot already, then you know what this is, but it's going to be the Discover It card. And I'm sorry if I take this from you, David, but Discover It card, it's personally my starter card, and it's the starter card that I recommend to everyone, all my friends and family. The reason why is because Discover they dominate in the basics of what you need, and that comes to customer support. You know your credit score every month. They literally physically send you the mail if you have that opted in. They do an insane thing. If you're a student, they give you $20. You don't even need to have perfect grades. I've mentioned this before too, but I didn't have a 3.0. They still gave me the $20 credit, and on top of that, they do the cashback match at the end of the year. So for people just getting into credit cards, I feel like a lot of people can be intimidated by like points, miles, like what is Delta, what is Avios, because I didn't know any of that. The best and easiest way to start out is Discover Cashback, and the reason why is because it's so easy, it's so beginner friendly, and at the whole year of cashback that you get, they actually match it, so they actually double that, which I think is fascinating too.
Yeah, I think the Discover It is a good card. I've had that card before. Yeah, I think that's great. Also, no annual fee. That's always good for people
Yes.
starting out as well. So with my card, my best starter card option, it would have to be the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. So the reason why, also no annual fee. So for anyone started, kind of like you were saying, if they don't know what to do, what points are, what miles are, what are transfer partners, they don't have to worry about any of that. Especially now with the Chase Freedom Unlimited, it's 3% on every single purchase up to $20,000 in the first year. So I think if someone were to just take it slow, get the Chase Freedom Unlimited, put all their spending on that card, and then when they're ready to put those points to use, the Chase Ultimate Reward points, they could get a Chase Sapphire Preferred or a Chase Sapphire Reserve after, and then those points are then activated to be able to transfer to partners. That's the timer. So they could transfer to the partners like Hyatt for hotels or Southwest for airlines and get a lot more value out of those points that they're using earlier on. So the next topic is going to be best unknown card. So I'm going to take this one first. I'm going to start the timer now. So I think the best unknown card, and by unknown, I mean it's not like a Chase, no Amex, no Capital One, no big banks. It's going to be the CNB, City National Bank, Crystal Visa Infinite card. So this card is very magical in my opinion. So it has a 50,000 point sign-up bonus, which is equal to 1 cent per point, so that's about $500 there. It has some good earning potential. It's 3 points per dollar for gas, groceries, travel, things like Uber, which is pretty decent. It does have an annual fee of $400, so it will come with the bells and whistles like global entry, priority pass. But where this card really shines is the $250 incidental credit that you get per year. So the $250 can be used towards airline gift cards, not towards flights itself, but incidentals, and you can get away with airline gift cards. The really cool thing is that you could have up to 3 authorized users and still get that $250 incidental credit per year. So with the three authorized users plus the user itself, that's $1,000. So 4 times 250, $1,000 that you get per year with the annual fee of $400. That's a $600 net that you're getting year after year.
Okay. All right, my
so
turn.
What's your best unknown card?
I don't know if this is as unknown as yours because I literally never heard of the card you chose. I think you might take me in this one, but some people might not know about the Uber Barclays card. It's not as popular as like Discover and some of the other Prime cards like American Express and Chase, but the reason why I chose the Barclays card is because it's very similar in terms of just getting started with a beginner card. I like it as an unknown card because, like I said, not everyone really knows about this card, and I see this question a lot in our Facebook group too. This card comes with like some benefits that other companies don't come with. Oh, is the timer up?
Yeah, no, but keep going. So
Okay,
we could go past the timer. It's all good. There's no like set timer. We could talk over.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So some of the things I like about the Barclays card is actually the cell phone protection. So cell phone protection is actually kind of hard to find unless you're with like a Business Inc. card or some other higher tier cards. But the Barclays Uber card actually comes with no annual fee. It gives you that cell phone protection. And one thing that I've seen it do that I haven't seen too many other credit cards do is actually give you that subscription credit. So I know everyone has a Netflix account or maybe an Amazon Prime or even a Google G Suite account, depending on if you own a business or not. But the point is, a lot of people own these subscription services, and you can actually get free credit towards that as well. So I do like the Barclays card. I've probably gotten like a couple $100 back in rewards, and I just get gift cards back with that. But that is my personal favorite unknown card.
Yeah, I think that's a great card as well. For a no annual fee card to offer cell phone insurance, I think that's really good. It's kind of rare that happens. That's a good choice. All right, so next topic is going to be bank bonuses, bank churning, whatever you want to refer to it as. So I'm going to start the timer now. Brian, you are up.
Okay, so are we talking about like the favorite bank bonuses, favorite bank signups?
Yeah, favorite bank signups.
All right.
I guess how to do it, and I guess like general overview of it.
Yeah. So, okay, bank signups. I actually made that was the last video I put on my channel. But
Yes.
basically, just
By the way, for everyone watching, definitely check out Brian's video. I'll have a link in the description. He pretty much describes this whole topic perfectly. So go check out that video. Also, forgot to mention anything Brian related. There's links in the description below. So make sure you check out his channel. All the links are down below. Sorry, Brian, didn't mean to cut you off. You know what? Let me start this timer over. Let me start it over this way. All right. Go for it.
All right. First of all, I use my time up to say thank you to David. I appreciate that, man. So bank bonuses, guys. It is a video I just made on, and part of the reason is because we really focus a lot on credit card churning, and there are some limitations with that. You know, like the 524 rule, or I know some people are worried about getting a lot of hard pulls and hard inquiries on their account. When it comes to bank churning, you're not really going to be faced with that. Sometimes they're going to do a hard pull, like if you get the Charles Schwab $100 bank sign up, and that's actually going to be what I mentioned in for my side, and I made a video on that too. But basically the reason why I really like the Charles Schwab card is for a multitude of reasons. I really just like the company, like personally, but on top of that, they come with a brokerage account. You can see all the stats. They've been very reputable in that niche, but they also give you the easiest $100 ever, and on top of that, they give you a no ATM fee debit card. So if you like to travel a lot but you need cash, maybe you need some pesos or something, you can actually put that Charles Schwab debit card in an ATM. You don't have to worry about fees. They're actually going to reimburse you for all of that, and you literally get a free $100. Now, there's no minimum sign up you have to put in a bank. You just have to use a referral code, but that's also pretty easy to find. That's also in my video, or you could also just Google it and find that as well. But I love the Charles Schwab card. Bank sign up bonuses are just really great in general.
Yes, definitely. Charles Schwab card is definitely a must in every traveler's wallet. Even if you don't travel, just get the Charles Schwab card, because any ATM you go to, nationwide, international, like Brian was saying, it's completely free. ATMs completely reimbursed. So, and you get $100 out of it as long as you use that referral code. Yes, great choice, Brian. So before I talk about my bank bonus, I just want to tell a funny story. So before bank bonuses, bank account churning was even a thing, when I was like 20 years old, I found out that all the banks, so this is like right before 2008, before the crash. So all the banks were throwing money everywhere, trying to get as many people as possible. Everybody had money, everybody's refinancing. So I was getting a ton of these bank bonuses just for opening up accounts, maybe putting $500 at most, because back then I was a college student. I didn't have much money at all. So I was getting like hundreds of dollars. I wound up with like 6 or 7 bank accounts, and it was awesome. And probably my favorite one was Wachovia. So at the time, if you opened up a Wachovia account before they went out of business, they would give you a $100 gift card for opening up the account, and when you put $100 in it. But they also gave $100 to anyone who referred you. So I was having all my friends, family members, like every other day, come to the bank, open up this account with this same branch manager, and he was giving me all these $100 gift cards, and then after a while, he just started giving me $100 gift cards from other people who didn't get refers, and I was giving them bottles of wine and stuff like that. So that was like my intro to bank bonuses. But so yeah, my choice would have to be like the Wells Fargo. Currently, there's a bank bonus for Wells Fargo. It's $400. The only way I know about this is because actually, earlier this week, my wife wanted to open up a personal Wells Fargo account because she has a business account. And she went to the branch manager. I went in with her. And I was like, wait, let me see if there's like a bonus on this. And yeah, so currently, at the time of filming this video, there's a $400 bonus for opening up a personal Wells Fargo account. You could just type in $400 bonus in Google for Wells Fargo. And I think it's $3,000 you have to deposit over 3 months to get that bonus. And of course, there's other fees and other stuff attached. So make sure you do your homework with that for bank bonuses. Brian, was there anything else you wanted to add about bank bonuses?
Not really. I mean, bank bonuses, like you just mentioned, one of the most important things is it's not like credit cards where you just have an attached like APR. Some of them have promotional, no APR, but credit cards is usually pretty straightforward. You apply and there aren't really any strings attached to it other than the annual fee. One thing about one thing about bank churning, I mean, is that you really have to be careful with the fine print. So some of them will like do hard inquiries. Some of them will give you a monthly maintenance fee and other little things, and like maybe you have to keep your money in there for a certain amount of time, or you can't close your account in a certain amount of time, otherwise they'll actually take that money back. So you just need to keep in mind of those. But if you know the fine print, if you're good at reading, you know, the little things, then you'll be fine with that.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome, man. All right, so our next topic is going to be best American Express transfer partner redemption. So I'll take this one, and I'll start the timer now. So I think, so American Express has a ton of transfer partners. Some are 1-to-1 ratio, some are a little more or less. And the transfer partner that I choose is Etihad. So Etihad has a ton of really valuable redemptions. Etihad is a airline that goes out of Dubai or the UAE. And so my favorite redemption would have to be, not that I've done this personally, but just looking at the award charts, would have to be going from New York City to Casablanca so with Air Maroc, it would be 22,000 one way, which is pretty good. It's kind of on par with Air France. But for business class, it's 44,000 one way to get from New York City to Casablanca in business class on Air Maroc. And, so with a basic sign-up bonus of 50,000 with the gold card, or, if you get the American Express Platinum at 60,000 or 100,000, you could get that business class flight to Casablanca. So what's your one, Brian?
Man, so with MR points, I treat it a little differently than I would with like UR. You do have to respect it a bit more just because UR is definitely way more flexible. Chase Ultimate Reward points, you can, transfer to high, you get that 1-to-1 still. But I find myself struggling a little bit more with membership reward points. I'm not going to lie. It might be just because I don't do as much international travel and I don't do as much business class seats. And that's where you're going to find a lot of the best redemptions, a lot of the higher redemptions. But for me personally, just because I do a lot of domestic traveling, I tend to look at those promotional values. So it really depends. Sometimes they'll do that Hilton transfer, and even though Hilton points aren't really worth that much, if you get a good transfer going and you can like double different offers, maybe transfer over your Hilton points, and then there's another Hilton promotion with like an American Express offers. I really like using it in terms of that, just because you can really stack different offers and get the best maximum value out of that. When it comes to like something like airlines though, I have been looking at Delta recently. Delta has like another program just with their business class flights too, and it depends on really where you redeem it for. If you go from Maryland to LA, it's going to be a way different redemption than if you're going from like Texas to Maryland. So it really depends on where you're trying to fly to, but I find that the 1-to-1 ratio when you're actually transferring your American Express MR points over to Delta, I do see a good redemption most of the time, but that's one of those, your miles may vary type deals, but I like that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny, I agree with you about Chase being better than American Express in terms of flexible points. So a few weeks ago, I had Dustin from Waller's Wallet on, and we had a debate which was better, American Express membership reward points or Chase Ultimate Reward points. And I went with Chase because it is a lot more easier to use. I think, it's got Hyatt. American Express has a ton of transfer partners, and I'll be honest, I don't know how to use all of them. And it could be very complicated. Like if you look at the list, it's like a huge list with airlines, that aren't too common. But yeah, those are some good points with Delta and Hilton.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
All right. So our last topic is going to be a minimum spending technique. And Brian, you're going to take this one. I'm going to start the timer now.
Oh man. Okay. Minimum spend. So like this is definitely like a fire topic, a good controversial question. I really like this. I really like that this is the last question too. If I were to choose one, I guess we'll talk more about the ones that are more within the rules, because there are like advanced, MS techniques, and I'm gonna actually set that aside for other students, because that's a whole different world, and I wouldn't encourage this to my normal audience of people, just trying to get in the points and miles game, because if you mess that up, if you go to like a Bluebird, or if you get some serve cards and you just load it up like crazy and then you get flagged and financial review, I don't want us as influencers to be held accountable for that. So I'm gonna give you guys a way that you guys can actually do MSing pretty easily, and this is something I did most recently. This is why I'm gonna choose this one, and it's taxes. So taxes is one of the most easiest things you can do. Taxes you can pay quarterly or yearly. You just have to be a business owner, and you don't have to like pay the W-2 form or whatever, maybe the 1099, something like that. But if you actually do taxes, you could pay quarterly and just meet minimum spends like that, and it's pretty fairly easy to do. You just go on irs.gov, and there are different payment providers, and I actually called them when it was really busy, like right before tax day too. They're able to help me out, figure all that out, and I was able to put a good amount of spend and just knock that out on one of my cards. So taxes is going to be mine for this question.
Awesome. Yeah, and unfortunately, everybody has to pay taxes, and if you're going to pay taxes, you might as well use a credit card and get points and miles out of it. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. And I agree with you, Brian. I'm not going to talk about like the shady MS techniques, because man, they just, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I don't want to be liable.
Yeah.
But I will say, back in the day, I used to do a lot of manufactured spending. I was doing it was so much easier back then too. I was like, without even leaving my seat, I could do like $5,000 to $10,000 without even leaving my seat. So through like Amazon payments and a bunch of other methods online, which are all dried up now. But those were the days. I was able to do like $20,000 a month without even trying. And that was like in my prime. Yeah, it was so much easier back then. I'm telling you. There was like red card with Target. There was Bluebird, which is a lot easier than it is now. Serve, I don't want to date myself too much, but if you guys are watching, let us know if you were ever doing manufactured spending back in the day and how easy it was. For my technique to reach minimum spending, so this is another, kind of like Brian, like a simple one to do. I don't want to make it too complicated, like talk about gift cards and stuff. But if you have Vimeo, or what is it? Wait, what's
Venmo?
Venmo. Yeah, I was thinking of Venmo. If you have Venmo on your phone, then what I would do is make a list of your most closest family members and friends who you completely trust, right? So let's say it's like a list of 5 people, and you ask them if they have any big purchases coming up. So they may be buying a new refrigerator or making, some type of big payment on anything. Then you could ask them, before they make that payment, have them Venmo you the money, and then you put that purchase on the credit card. So the most important part is to make sure you get the money first, because you don't want to wind up in a sticky, awkward situation with someone you like and trying to chase them down for the money. So try to get that money first via Venmo, and then have them put that purchase on your credit card, and then you pay it off, and you could complete the minimum spending pretty quick like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because there's so many methods. There's plastic, there's a bunch of, you could buy your auto insurance way in advance, buy a whole year's worth up front. Cool, Brian. So before we part, would you like to tell us any final thoughts, words, and where we could find you, like any social media handles?
Final thoughts. Well, David, first, I really appreciate you messaging me. David actually, I don't know if I reached out to you or if you reached out to, oh wait, no. So it's actually pretty funny. So I was actually trying to look at David's funnel, like how he set up his website, because I was always really curious. I love like reverse engineering people's stuff, but I actually filled out David's consultation form, like when I first started my channel, and he actually messaged me. He was like, Brian Jung, is this really a consultation? Like, are you trying to do this for? And I was like, oh, I was like, hey, what's going on? And then after that, we kind of, we talked a bit more just about the credit card community, and we actually bonded a little bit from that, which is pretty funny. So then, I do actually appreciate you like reaching out though again, just like getting me on your channel, man. Just because, I've gotten a few offers from like different people in like other niches, but in the credit card community on YouTube, we're a much smaller community than any other niche. It's me, you, Sebi, Wallers, Pointers, and then Trip Astute, and then Shifu. It's not a huge circle. So whenever someone's trying to unite, I always find it like really awesome. And on top of David, Shifu's always been like real kind to me. Sebi's actually pretty kind to me too. Sebi doesn't respond to me that much, but I know he sees some of my videos because he's commented on them before. But what I do really appreciate about this community is because of how small it is. It's really fun because we all kind of share like the same fan base, and I love seeing that, and I love the unity that we have. Another final thought is I actually haven't put out a video on my channel in a little bit. The last post I made was regarding just saying like I got some personal matters. So anyone who watches this is going to be the most up-to-date video just for me, and the whole reason for that is just one of my buddies' dad is unfortunately passing away from cancer. So like I've actually been putting YouTube on the side just so I could support them, just because for me, like what matters the most really is just like family and friends in person, and I want to be there to support them. So I'll actually be back making more videos. Hopefully I can get David on my channel so I can return the favor in the future. But
anytime.
I mean, other than that, like there's not much. I really love the love and what's happening, and I love all the subscribers and what everyone comments too.
Yeah, man, definitely. Hope your friend's dad is okay. Hope everything works out with that. And appreciate you giving a shout out to everybody and sharing the love, of course. So Brian, where can people find you? We got social stuff. You want to share the ats?
So guys, you can definitely check out my YouTube channel. It is just Brian Jung. It's just my name on YouTube. If you type in that, you'll be able to find me. On Instagram, I'm pretty active. I just changed my Instagram name to Credit Brian, so you'll find that there. We have a Facebook group too. We're changing that name, so you might not be able to find it, but at the moment it's called Credit Churners. We're gonna change that to something different, and then that's about it, man. If you guys want my Venmo to, donate, then I got you guys for that too. But that's about it. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, Brian, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And for everyone out there, comment what you think about this, and we'll see you in the next video. Also, if you want to watch any more points on points videos, I have a playlist over here. You could click that playlist right over there, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.